What up, what up, what up, people? What up? Y'all know what time it is? You know what? I think I grabbed the wrong tie, and I don't even think this tie is gonna match my shirt. Oh well. I'm not going to get a new tie. We just gonna work with what we got. Yeah, this tie certainly. Y'all gonna pick at me this week, cause this tie does not go with this shirt. I was reaching for another tie, and I grabbed this. This tie goes with another shirt I have. I have a burgundy shirt, or yeah, a deep crimson shirt that goes with this tie. But oh well, I don't feel like I'm too lazy to get up, y'all. I'm too late. I really hate this tie as well, which is why I never wear it. I never wear that shirt. Ooh, I don't even know what's going on with this tie today, y'all. Just a mess. Just a mess. Go ahead. Leave horrible comments. Pick at me. Oh my God. I can't. I'd rather not even wear a tie than try to make this make sense. Oh dear God, what is going on today? Y'all, we got to do better. We have got to do better. Anyway, y'all, it is, what week is this? 10, week 10 of our fantasy football picks. It's NFL week 10. Yeah, I'm going to try to make this time make sense. I'm going to try to make it make sense. Anyway, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying with this tie. I grabbed the wrong tie, y'all, and the sad part, it's just not gonna work out. I can already see. I'm gonna have to get up and go get. But see, I got so many ties, and to go in there and try to find a new tie, y'all, and I'm just stalling. What the hell? You know what? You know what? Anyway, y'all. Um, is that the hole? That is the hole. That's a big hole. That's why, cause the hole is so big. You know what? That you could take that so many ways. Me talking about the hole being so big, it could just go so many ways. And here we are, just being all nasty and perverted. On, you know what? Screw it. Just bump it. No tie this week. We just gonna go with it like this, cause yeah, this tie is not cooperating. Anyway, let's get to the picks. I look like a clown, just a freaking clown, y'all. Anyway, that's how I felt this week with my running backs, but we'll get there. All right, this week we got what I did for y'all. I got two sleepers for every category except for running backs, because it's always a struggle every week with the running backs. God help us. God help us. But we going to make it through this week, all right? So for our quarterbacks this week, I like Jameis Winston again. He's at home versus Arizona. Y'all know Arizona don't have no defense out there. Everybody who plays Arizona, you know they light it up. So look for Jameis Winston to have another great day versus Arizona. Okay, Jameis Winston of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's at home versus Arizona. Okay. I also like my boy Jimmy G at home versus Seattle. Monday Night Football, the lights, the cameras, action, all of that good stuff. Jimmy G, start him at home versus Seattle. My sleepers for my quarterbacks, we got two deep sleepers. Daniel Jones of the New York Giants well, I guess you could say he's at home. They both play in the same stadium. But the Giants are playing the Jets. It's both their home stadium. Officially, it's at the Jets, but they both play in the same stadium. So both of them are at home. And then we have Ryan Tannehill of the Tennessee Titans, and he's going to be at home versus Kansas City. Y'all know we've discussed week after week after week the Kansas City defense. We know what they do. We know already how to go with this. Okay, so Ryan Tannehill of the Tennessee Titans at home versus Kansas City Chiefs. For our tight ends this week, I like Greg Olsen at Green Bay. Greg Olsen of the Carolina Panthers at Green Bay. I like Jared Cook of the New Orleans Saints at home versus Atlanta. Atlanta is just awful this year. And I like O.J. Howard of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home versus Arizona. Y'all know that Arizona defense and that Seattle defense are awful against tight ends. So you even though he's not on the list, you want to start what is his name for my team, Greg Kittle of the 49ers. Actually, no, scratch that. My sleeper is Ross Dwelley of the San Francisco 49ers versus that vaunted Seattle defense. You know Seattle gives up a lot of points to tight ends. My sleeper this week was Ross Dwelley. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Not Greg Kittle. Ross Dwelley. Dwelley of the San Francisco 49ers at home versus the Seattle Seahawks. And I like Chris Herndon as another sleeper for the New York Jets, and they're going to be at home versus the New York Giants. Okay, so those are our two tight end sleepers: Ross Dwelley of the 49ers, Chris Herndon of the Jets. All right, for our running backs this week, I like Jalen Samuels of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's going to be at home versus the Rams. We know Connor is out, and what's the other running back? Is it Snead? I think it's Snead. The other running back, he's out as well. So I like Jalen Samuels of the Pittsburgh Steelers at home versus the Rams. Okay. I like David Montgomery of the Chicago Bears at home versus Detroit. You know Detroit gives up a lot of points versus opposing running backs. You want to start David Montgomery. Latavius Murray of the New Orleans Saints. And they're at home versus Atlanta. Now, I know that Alvin Kamara is coming back. But I feel like Sean Payton is still going to give Latavius Murray some catches. Some carries. And some catches. Because we know he did well both carrying the ball and receiving. So he may be a great PPR option if you're looking and searching. These last two you can count as these last three running backs. You can really count them as sleepers. Latavius Murray, you might want to count him as a sleeper. Devin Singletary, I think we highlighted him last week, or maybe he was a sleeper last week for Buffalo. He's another sleeper this week, Buffalo, and he's going to be at Cleveland. Y'all know Cleveland is awful, so look for Devin Singletary to be another sleeper or start. If you got him, you're starting him. And Ronald Jones of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home versus Arizona. As you can see, we're featuring, that's our feature game. The Buccaneers Cardinals game. That Tampa Bay Buccaneers Arizona Cardinals. That game, I think the over-under is like 58 or 59. I definitely take the over. So I like that game to put up a lot of points. Okay? Ronald Jones is a sleeper at running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're at home versus the Cardinals. For our wide receivers this week, I like Marquise Brown of the Baltimore Ravens. Anything or anybody versus Cincinnati Bengals, who are awful. You want to start them. I also would start Mark Andrews if you have him as a tight end against Cincinnati, because Cincinnati is awful. I like A.J. Brown of the Tennessee Titans versus Kansas City. I really like him as an option because of the type of receiver that he is. A.J. Brown is the type of receiver that he can be a deep threat. And Tampa, as I've been watching Kansas City, they don't fare well against those types of receivers. So I like him to either be he's going to be either do real well or he's going to be a bust. So I'm going out on a limb and saying A.J. Brown this week. I like Christian Kirk of the Arizona Cardinals. Now people are going to argue and say, well, why not Fitz? For some reason, I feel like this is the week. I got a hunch deep in my spirit that this is going to be Christian Kirk's week for Arizona at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I told y'all this is our feature game. If you notice, I done had somebody from this game in every position. Anybody on either Arizona's team or Tampa Bay's team, you want to start them this week, okay? So Christian Kirk, and he's going to be at Tampa Bay for Christian Kirk of the Arizona Cardinals at Tampa Bay. And I also like Michael Gallup of the Dallas Cowboys versus Minnesota. Now, I generally don't like any players from Dallas. However, I figure Minnesota to double team Amari Cooper, which will leave the field open for Michael Gallup. So I like Michael Gallup this week for the Dallas Cowboys. They'll be home versus the Minnesota Vikings. Is it just me, or does it seem like Dallas is always at home? Like, I feel, and I could be wrong, maybe I'm just looking at this wrong, but I feel like the Dallas Cowboys, fortunately for them, I guess, but unfortunately for us, tend to be at home more often than they're away. But maybe I'm just looking at this wrong. We got 2 sleepers at receivers this week. Our first sleeper is Zach Pascal of the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to be at home versus Miami. Y'all know how we feel about any team playing Miami Dolphins. Zach Pascal versus wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts at home versus Miami. He's a sleeper. Our next sleeper is Ted Ginn Jr. Of the New Orleans Saints, and he's going to be at home versus Atlanta. Y'all know how Ted Ginn is. He's a speedster. He's a deep threat. He's a big win or big loss. He's going to either give you 1 or 0 points, or he's going to give you a lot of points. So he's a sleeper if you're struggling this week with a bye. And now, those are all our picks. And now for our favorite part of the week. L Teddy 27's Fantasies. Where's my, oh, here's mine. I'm looking for my little whiteboard. All right. Not white boy, white board. We don't feature white boys in our fantasies. Sorry, white boys. You will never get featured. Anyway, our first guy, he has a hyphenated last name. He is another safety. You know, I think last week we did all safeties. But our first fantasy this week is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, a safety for the New Orleans Saints. I don't even think you really have to put his name and put shirtless in your Google search. I think you could just put his name and do an image search for him. You'll roll on some pics of him without his shirt on. Ooh, chat. Nice piece of dark chocolate there. That's our first fantasy of the week. Real nice to look at. Nice safety there. Whew, nice little tattoos and stuff. You know they love to get the tattoos. This one is a nice little middle of the road brown skin. Even though he's middle of the road, he leans toward the lighter end, but he's still middle of the road. He's not totally a light bright, but he's not a piece of dark chocolate. Making sure I spelled the name right. Marlon Humphrey. He's a cornerback for the, he's a DB. He's a cornerback for the Baltimore Ravens. Okay. Real nice and easy on the eyes. All right. So those are our 2 fantasies this week. Y'all know how we do with our fantasies. Type in their name. Type in shirtless, or you might want to type NFL after Marlon Humphrey's name. It's kind of a common name. But type in shirtless, and you'll find some pleasant treats there. And that's our week this week. I tried to give you more sleepers this week. Tried to give you more sleepers this week. Next week, we are doing our playoff push. So I knew that next week, with it being week 11, even starting this week, this is the week that you want to start to really do that playoff push, so that you, if you try to make the playoffs, this is the week that you really, go for the gusto and, put your foot on the gas and all of that good stuff, all of those little, cliches. I'm sorry about my tie this week, y'all. I don't know what's going on with my tie this week. It don't even match. I grabbed the wrong tie. I just didn't feel like getting up to get a new one. Anyway, y'all, that's all we got for this week. I will catch y'all again next week with our week 11 starts and sits. Well, not sits. We don't really do sits, but our starters and our sleepers. Until next week, y'all, I'm out of here. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely.